Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday Night Brand Night. I'm Sherry Danzig, and it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you all, whether you're here live or listening to this as a recording. It's Brand Night, so we're focused on these fabulous technologies that create a wellness home or a greenhouse effect of bringing the impact, the effects of nature into your everyday living. And that's always exciting because people love coming home. And the topic tonight is about when you're away from home. And I can tell you, I was just away for 11 nights of sleeping without I had part of my sleep products, but not all of them. But the idea of coming back home and getting back in your own bed is a wonderful thing when you get so attached to these products. So I'm welcoming stories that have to do with the products that you bring with you that are Nikken technologies when you're traveling, the products that you most miss when you're traveling and you're away from your products. So anything like that that has to do with travel is the theme tonight. So go ahead and raise your hand or your virtual hand if you would like to share a story. Pam Barnes, please jump in.
Well, I'll start. We love to travel, but we don't want to be without all of our items. So it's okay for us. We fly most of the time to pay that extra money for an extra suitcase because when we get to wherever we want to go, we don't want to not feel good and not have energy. So we have our staples that we take. We take two twin light comforters, one in Ron's suitcase, one in my suitcase, and we sleep on top of one and we put one on top of us. Then we take the Makura pillow and we split it. I like the firm side. He likes the soft side. We're kind of like the Mama Bear and Papa Bear. So we put those inside the pillows at the hotel. I carry my Japanese first aid kit, which includes a knee wrap, an ankle wrap, the gloves, and three power chips. So we've got that just in case because we like to do a lot of walking and hiking. And I shouldn't mention the pillowcases, but we do carry two pillowcases with us also. Mag boys are a staple. They're always there. A roll of duct tape. I mean, we have our little sneak-in suitcase that goes everywhere. And if we drive, we take the waterfall. If not, it's a sports bottle with lots of extra filters, hoping to keep it until we get the next version. So that's our thing. Of course, we're wearing the jewelry, the back flex, the shoe inserts. So we're ready to roll anytime. It doesn't take us long to throw it together. But we don't want to be without it. But I will say, when we get home, there's nothing like being on our sleep system.
Mhm.
It's the good if we just go, aha, when we lay down.
Yeah.
But
Thanks, Pam.
that's our suitcase.
I love it. So if you're listening to this and you're not familiar with the products, ask whoever invited you to listen because you're going to hear maybe some names of products that you're not familiar with, but just know that they're all wonderful. Paula, please share.
Well, we just came back from Nashville, and I'll tell you, I wouldn't travel anywhere without my pillow. And in the plane, I actually pack my sleep mask, which comes in a little pouch. I put a couple of earplugs, or usually I pack more than a couple because invariably I have to give a pair to my roommate because I snore. And I pack my eye mask, but I tuck it all into the cozy because the cozy zips up like a pillow. So when you're on the plane and it usually gets very cold on the plane, we can unzip that cozy and it becomes a comforter. So, you can have your rest on the plane before you get to where you're going or on the way back. And it's absolutely fabulous, especially for red eyes coming back from the West Coast to the East Coast. Yeah, I wouldn't go without it.
Thanks, Paula. I hear you on that. Michelle, new gold, Michelle. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum.
Thank you. Um, you know what? Like both Pam and Paula, I take just about everything I could possibly think of. This last time when we went to Nashville, the twin um, fit fit very nicely in with my pillow in a suitcase, and I could tuck a whole bunch of other little things in in there as well. Don't go without the duct tape, the mag flex, the insoles and necklace I'm wearing all the time. Water, I even pack in my suitcase a waterfall, and I will take a dry filter and stuff the whole waterfall in with all my clothes, and it fits nice. It works really good. I have to pay for one extra suitcase, and that's okay. That's okay because holy moly. This last time when I took the fit, I was able to put it across a queen size bed, and both my daughter and I were able to enjoy the benefits of having a fit right on the bed, which was really cool. Worked really good. I carry the cozy with me on the plane. The chair pad comes with me on the plane. Um, and the sleep mask, of course, is an essential. And then like the power chips, the duct tape, anything little that I can fit into my little carry-on case, like my little, what is it called? Like a cosmetic case.
Right.
Only it's full of little Nikken products, like the power minis, anything that I can think of that I could possibly need. I even take the gloves with me, whether it's summer or whatever, doesn't matter. It's in there because you never know when your hands are going to get stiff or somebody might. And I've got the products to lend out. So yeah, I take a makeshift wellness home. The only thing I don't take is the air purifier. And when I get home, wow, I notice a difference.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
very
Thank you.
easy to do.
Yeah, we love that our products can travel with us. So I want to share a number of stories. I went on 3 cruises in about 2 years with my mom, who at the time was in her late 80s, my aunt, who turned 100 on the first one, so she was 103 on the third cruise, and a cousin who was in her 70s, and me, I'm the baby, in my 60s. So I always travel with the knee wraps, and I always travel with the extra large knee wraps because they're just larger, whether I need them or. But even if my knees are not a problem, it's great to have it because you can tuck it into your waistband of your pajamas if maybe you ate too much or ate something or drank, and so it just calms the body down. It calms your tummy down. And in this case, I kept bringing it out from my aunt, the 100-year-old or 100-plus-year-old, because her hip was bothering her. And I just said, just, tuck it in wherever you're hurting. And it calmed it down. She was pretty pleased. So that's a go-to always. Um, Back years ago, I was traveling not too far away. I was probably an hour away, but I was doing a 3-day walk. It was a breast cancer walk, and we did 20 miles a day. So I was away from home. And the one thing that I brought for sleeping, I always bring my pillow. That's a given. But I brought the long johns, which we haven't had in a few years. Um, but they're made with this special material with the ceramic fibers that help to balance your body temperature. Well, when you've walked for at least 20 miles in a day, the your body gets acidic and hurting and achy and all that stuff that makes your body ache. And I would put my pajamas on, and the next day, I felt like I hadn't done anything the day before. My body really recovered. And compared to my 2 friends that I was traveling with, who were popping lots of over-the-counter meds, and people were popping over-the-counter meds at every tent, every time, it was like every 3 miles, they would have a stop, and they were pushing the Advil or whatever it was that they were pushing. And so, traveling with those long johns was incredible. So I often take those. It gets hot here, so in Georgia, so I don't take them in the summertime, but it's a great thing to have in the winter. I also want to share that the trip that I was just on, so I was packing, my daughter was leaving from home and was going to the beach. We had a week at the beach, but my husband and I left 3 or 4 days early, I guess 4 days early, to get so that we flew out from where the beach is, and we flew to Utah and then came back. And I screwed up. I almost got I got upset with my daughter, and then I realized it's just because I'm so upset about my water system. It was really on me. I should have put the water system out because she had so many things to pack up to carry all the food I'd made and all the stuff. I had forgotten the waterfall. So I had my fit. I had a chair pad for sleeping in Utah because I was flying. And I had the fit for when I got back to my car for the beach in South Carolina. But I'd forgotten to pack the waterfall. And I was slightly hysterical about the idea of that because my daughter had already left. And so thank goodness my other daughter had not left and brought it. So I had a couple of days. I was like panicked. My husband knew it. He was like, who can we call? Who can we find out a consultant in South Carolina to find a waterfall? I mean, I was that panicked about not having it. Luckily, I'd had some water I had captured with it. So I managed for a couple of days before my other daughter got there with the waterfall. But it's that kind of a thing. And not only that, I had a water bottle and I left it on the plane. And so I lost it. So that wasn't great. The other thing I just want to say is that I carried it was an older travel comforter and the pillow. And this was the first time I'm telling people all the time, oh, I always travel with the pillow and the seat. Um, and they've never counted it as something that, as a carry-on. And now they're saying the FAA, they're saying that you can only have two items. And because I had a backpack and a purse and I overpack with just everything else, they fussed at me and I fussed at them back. And I ended up putting it in one of those heavy bags and checking it when I was coming back from Utah. So that's a PSA that you have to be creative because they're now counting it as a carry-on, even though you're sitting on the seat. It's like silly. Um, I said, for 30 years I've been traveling with my pillow and my, seat and comforter. And anyhow, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to fuss at the TSA people because those things are coming with me. So those are all my stories. Does anybody else have a story that they want to share?
Oh,
Okay,
go ahead, Bill.
go ahead, Bayla.
Hi, this isn't about travel, although I've only traveled once since I started with Nikken, and I took my chair pad with me to put because I was staying in a college residence while I was on a seminar, and it's a tiny little twin bed usually, anyways. So I took my chair pad, and that did me just well because after painting all day, I was exhausted. I still wasn't doing that well at the time, and I was really worried with how I would hold up for the week. And so, with getting that good rest at night, oh, what a difference it made. And during the day when I was painting, I was wearing the gloves to give my hand support. So that was really good. But the other thing I wanted to tell you, um, I have a real hard time with seating that's too low. And so a couple of times lately, I've been invited to go to the movies. I take my cozy throw with me. I'm paranoid about germs, so I wrap it up in a clear plastic bag so they can see what I'm taking in. And I put that on the seat and sit on that, and that gives me just enough height to not have a difficult time. So I just wanted to mention that. But I don't know where all you put your clothes and your shoes and all that if you're taking all that stuff with you when you're traveling. That was a thought that crossed my mind.
Thanks, Bayla. Well, and if Ruth Lowe was on here, she would tell you that she will bring a shower head.
Oh my God.
She will call the housekeeping or, the whoever it is, whatever they're called, the engineer or whoever, whatever it is in the hotel,
Right.
and they will come in and take off the shower head and put on her shower head.
Wow.
So,
Wow. I mean, it'd be great if I could, but I wouldn't be able to manage all that stuff.
yeah, yeah. I thought of a couple more stories I'm going to share, and Pam, I'll get to you too. So, I have a customer that I've known her from probably 30 years ago as a massage therapist, and now she is refers people all the time. And so she and her friend were on a road trip. This is about a month ago, and her friend was complaining about her back and her hip hurting. So, Paula gave her chair pad, her Nikken chair pad, to ride back after hurting so much. Paula didn't, I mean, it wasn't great for Paula because she didn't have her seat. But then her friend forgot, we're laughing about that. She forgot to give it back to Paula. So then she took it home and she said, well, you might as well sleep on it. So I have a very happy customer who is has been using the chair pad both for sitting and sleeping, and the grounding pad as well. So that was the other thing that I had loaned her in addition. And so she's very happy. So car rides, it makes a huge difference when you can sit on these products and surround yourself with these products. I had another story and I forgot it already. Pam, go ahead, please share. Maybe it'll come
You
back
can
to
interject then.
me.
Ruth also travels with when we had the smaller air unit. She will travel with that as well. And I used to do the shower head and take my own wrench, but then the shower heads got really fancy in the hotels, and I didn't want to be responsible, so didn't do that. But the story I wanted to share was one. 26 years ago, when I found out about Nikken, one of the testimonials that a lady told me in my upline is that she was falling apart at the seams like I was. And she wanted to go to Florida. She said, just take me to the beach. I'm going to feel better. And her husband said to her, I'm not taking you to the beach this time. We're not taking a trip because you get there and you're totally exhausted, whether we're on a plane or in the car. And then you don't go out to the beach. It's been the same thing the last three trips. And she said, well, I really want to go. He goes, no, we're taking that money that we would spend on that trip to Florida and we are buying the sleep system, the water, and all these products because that's the only hope that we have that you will be able to travel and feel better.
Ah,
Well, the rest was history. She couldn't shut up and still hasn't, I'm sure. And she did. She was like, one of those, it lit us up, it turned the key and turned us back on again. And her husband came home like a week later and she was out pulling weeds in the garden and he went out and asked her who she was
wow.
because he didn't recognize her out of her PJs.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, the other story I remember, see, at my age, I forget, but then it comes back. That's good. Is I wanted to share, because I haven't talked about this in a long time, is that for about 5 years leading up before COVID, I had a wellness room in a hotel. It was in a boutique hotel in downtown Atlanta. And the whole idea was to create an environment, a wellness room, that people that were traveling could have a better night's sleep and benefit from all the things that we know to benefit from. So I was working with the general manager at the hotel, and we had the mattress topper and comforter. We did not have the pillows because he was concerned that people would walk out with them. We had the chair pad, we had the shower system. We had the waterfall system in the room, and they would check with housekeeping when they checked in. Do they want cold water or room temperature water? They could put ice, housekeeping would bring ice to put in the top of the waterfall. So we had created a wellness room, and it was a very sweet deal. I had a few times untimely calls, kind of, late at night. Good thing I'm a night owl. And people would call. I had a few calls. They said, I don't know what this stuff is, but I want everything in the room. Because I had a book with my information in it, so they knew how to reach me. So it was a great experience. And a few times it were people that were Nikken consultants, but I trained the hotel staff, the front desk staff to then train and invite guests to check out the wellness room. So it was a sweet deal because there was an upcharge for guests, and the hotel and I split that upcharge. So it was a profitable thing. Unfortunately, what happened is the person that was my contact, he moved to California. COVID happened. That was the final, shutting the door down. And actually, it was a boutique hotel for so long, and then the Marriott took it over. But before it was shut down, the Marriott Hotel created a code, which I was pretty proud of because they're obviously a very large hotel chain. They created a code that was a unique code for the wellness room for that particular room. So that was kind of fun. So think about that as far as I would recommend if you know someone that has, and I know there's people in Nikken who have been owners of a B&B, and I think that's really the best way to go when you've got somebody that lives on the property and can create that wellness environment for travelers. Is it Vivian? Vivian, please share.
So, one of the things that we do a lot in the summertime is we sail. And I always get allocated to what they call the V berth, which is at the front because my husband's too tall. And one of the things I find is coming off the sleep system, it is brutal. I don't get very good sleep, nothing. So I take the old travel pad, the green one, which I still have, and I take it and I put it on the mattress in the V berth. Then I put the bed sheet on the top. I get one of the comforters from when we had the rollout kits. I get the comforter, and then I take my new pillow and I just use all of that when we go sailing. So I'm always happy. And then I have my insoles and my necklace. And because when you're sailing, you can't exactly have the waterfall in there. I fill up travel jugs and put all the pie water in there, and then I stick them in the fridge so that I have water to drink because I will not drink water that comes out of the taps that go into the holding tank. It's like, no.
Yeah.
And so that's how I manage to get through when we go away sailing for like, even if it's 3 days or up to 2, 3 weeks,
Hmm.
I take my Nikken stuff with me. I wouldn't be without it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yep.
That's awesome. So one last thought I will share is that if you have a new customer that is still figuring out if these products are for real, or if you're loaning products, if you happen to do that, there's nothing more telling than when someone is off of the products and then they come back to the products. So for those that are skeptical, and most people are when they first start, exploring these products or using the products, I know I was. The idea of being away from them and coming back to them, I think sometimes is the best information of the how the products are working. I know that my one of my brothers saw his patients. He was a pain management doctor, and he saw so many of his patients get better with the products. And he was still like a little skeptical for himself, but he ordered the sleep products, and he was so excited when he called me to tell me he'd been away. And when he travels, he stays at very, very fancy hotels. And he said he had never had a problem before, but because he had been on the sleep system and then away from it for, I think it was about 9 or 10 days that trip, he could not wait to get back to it. And that was a huge testament for from my brother who was pretty skeptical, but he was helping out his little sister and getting the products, but then he was able to see for himself. So I think that's one of the best ways for people to know. In fact, I'll tell people, if you're not sure how it's working, you don't have to travel anywhere, just take the products off and have a few days without them. And so whether you're traveling someplace or just using, going without them, to have that comparison can be huge. Bayla, take us home. We have 1 minute.
Yeah, I just have a quick question because some of you have been with Nikken for such a long time, and Vivian brought it up. I was considering buying the large pet pad to loan out to people because I don't have the space to keep the whole sleep system, and also for traveling. And now I hear they had a travel pad. Why did they take that away? And well, obviously it wasn't selling, but can we do something to encourage them to bring that back? That'd be a great way to loan out to potential customers because one of my customers, she had been wanting this sleep system since she started buying things from me. And her husband didn't, she made him try the chair pad and he didn't like it. She got so fed up when I told her, it's 20% off. She said, "What if I just bought it and didn't tell him?" And I said, "Duh, yeah." So she's bought it. So let's see what happens. But it would be nice if we had that, option.
Yeah. Hold on to that thought.